Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back. I was in a small trip back in Spain. I have things to do as well with university, and I'm very excited now because I just came back and my new monitor that I just ordered like 1 week ago or something just came in the days was delivered. I'm pretty excited because I think this is a really nice monitor, and this is a monitor that really is probably one of the best monitors that I have seen in the last years. It has a tons of features, like literally a lot of features, and I think this is probably one of the best monitor, or even not the best monitor that you can have for something like a MacBook Pro. But in my case, I will try as well. But in my case, it works perfect for Windows and it has really nice features. I think Dell is just really pushing in the correct direction where we are going to be in the future for monitor, like mainstream monitors, because I think it's a monitor that covers a lot of features, not only for office, not only for productivity, but as well for gaming, and I think that's a really cool thing. Welcome to the review of the Dell UltraSharp U2724DE. This is a Thunderbolt monitor. It's also a cool feature. It's a Thunderbolt monitor and it's a hub monitor, and I'm just pretty excited. I used this monitor already before, like immediately when it launched. Like I think it launched here in Germany, and I bought it by telephone at my job because I called our Dell Premier Partner representative, and I called him and I told him, send me please one of these to my job because I want to try the features when I was working in the IT department. And I already used it before, pretty excited. I started to buy for the company as well, and this I got it myself for me. This is private use as well. As I just tell you always, I am not a sponsor. I'm not getting hardware from Dell or from any company. All the things that I buy is with my money, and that's why you get the most honest review out of them. So let's unpack this, and you always buy with and I hope it works because I bought it on eBay, in eBay Germany. Usually works, everything that I bought from there, but I didn't got to test it, and it was pretty cheap. It was a super deal. If you check this monitor, the U2427DE, there are actually two versions, the D without E at the end, which has no Thunderbolt capabilities, but literally the same features, and the one with Thunderbolt, which I think is a must-have feature for almost any productivity monitor nowadays. It's not enough, I will say, with USB-C. I think Thunderbolt, it's a nice feature. It's really something. And the nice thing with Thunderbolt is that it is 100% compatible with Apple computers, with MacBook Pros, with iPads, doesn't matter, which I think it's a pretty cool thing, not only for Windows PCs. So let's open this. I think you know already the trick as well from my videos. Open this monitor, you just need to unpack the stand. Yeah, this is pretty much paperwork. One DisplayPort cable, pretty cool. And one USB-A to USB-C cable. This is for upstream as well for hubs if you have a PC that has no USB-C. And this is a really important thing that I noticed since I bought this motor months ago. You get a you get actually a Thunderbolt 4 cable including in the box, which is very important because, as I just mentioned before, Dell ensures in every of the cables that they work perfectly with their monitors. So this is very important. And keep an eye on it. So paperwork, energy stuff, which we don't need now, and power cable. I need power cable. And here we have the stand. As you already know from Dell UltraSharp monitors, they are made from metal, pretty sturdy, pretty robust, and it's always good looking. This is in silver, and there's nothing much less to say. It's of course pivots and rotates and everything, but yeah, they are pretty cool. Yeah, so I think this is enough. And so now we have here the stand. Let's put this away. And the trick is always the same with the monitors. Just insert it, screw it from the back with your hands. This is a finger screw, pretty cool, and you don't need actually any tools to do this. And before you damage your monitor, remember, just take this and insert it in the back of the monitor, which is already prepared for this. It's just going to click, and then you can pull out the monitor. So let's put this. I don't need this. Or this enough, and I put this thing through, and So here you have it. This is a 20-inch panel. Also, I think it's the perfect size for this monitor. It has a resolution of Quad HD, which is 2560 by 1440p. It features as well 120 Hz, incredible for a productivity office monitor, which is pretty mainstream. And 120 Hz is a really nice direction for productivity monitors to go. Plus Thunderbolt feature, plus the Thunderbolt 4 capabilities, plus 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, DisplayPort in and DisplayPort out for daisy chain. And not only DisplayPort out for daisy chaining, it is capable of Thunderbolt daisy chain, which is incredible. So you can plug with one Thunderbolt cable your computer and then daisy chain another monitor like this with the same Thunderbolt with another Thunderbolt cable, which is pretty cool. And it has tons of USB ports to use it as a hub. It has USB-C downstream, upstream. It has USB-C to charge up to 15 watts with easy access here down in the panel. And guys, as I just mentioned, you have power cable, power input, and you have HDMI, and then you have DisplayPort input. I hope the camera focus. Yeah, DisplayPort input. And then you have DisplayPort output, which is this one here. And then here's where the magic starts. And then you have DisplayPort, as I mentioned, DisplayPort output, Thunderbolt output, Thunderbolt input with 90 watts of delivery. You can see here. As I mentioned, Thunderbolt input, and with this you can daisy chain with Thunderbolt output. And then you have USB-C upstream, 2 USB-A output, audio jack, another USB-A, and the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port. And here in the front you have another USB-A and another USB-C. This is with power charging capabilities up to 15 watts, which is incredible. And I mean, these are the features that I really like from the monitor. And this is how it looks at the end, at least here. It's going to be monitor and then one cable to computer. And it's going to be more or less like this, because this is my YouTube setup for now. But I will just keep you updated. I want to show you how the monitor actually looks like. This is the power button and the controls button, which is actually pretty simple, pretty sleek. Just silver everything with the Dell logo as well here in Chrome, and looks pretty cool. But as I just mentioned before, the inputs is where this monitor really shine. It's an IPS black technology. This is one of the best features as well of the whole monitor. This IPS black technology increases the contrast of the typical IPS panel you already know by around like 20%. You say, Jorge, 20% is not that much. It's still a contrast of like 2 to 1 in comparisons to IPS normal, and it does nothing compared to OLED displays. But OLED displays, I did a lot of research before getting this as well for me in the last weeks. It's like, yes, but you don't have Thunderbolt connectivity, and it has power delivery up to 96 watts. It's incredible. And if you have an LG 27 inches OLED panel with cost around 800 euros, which is double or triple the price of this one, and you are still missing features like connectivity, I don't know. I think this is a really nice combination of all the features that it offers, the resolution, and as well with the IPS black technology. It is not close to what OLED offers in contrast, but this is actually pretty cool. You can also game on it, which is going to be one of the things that we're going to be reviewing as well today. So this is the panel. I will just take this and let's hope it works everything, because as I just mentioned, I didn't check before. So let me connect this and I will see you now. So I just turned on the monitor. I went through the initial setup, which is pretty basic. I will select the Thunderbolt. Correction, this is only 90 watts power delivery, but actually it's more than enough for most of the normal mobility flexible computers. And I have here my HPC Studio G9 with a 12th generation Intel Core i9 12900H and an NVIDIA RTX A5500 from the Ampere generation, which has Thunderbolt cables, of course, which has Thunderbolt outputs, and of course has the USB-C with DisplayPort capabilities. And you will say, Jorge, but this monitor is not going to charge this laptop. I know, That's why I got as well a docking station for the HP. But for example, I have here my Dell XPS 9530. It's a 15-inch Dell XPS from the last generation. And this computer, I configured it extra, just because of this monitor, with only an Intel integrated HD graphics, which is perfect for productivity, 10 hours of battery life, incredible Full HD Plus panel, and I like it a lot. And this computer is perfect for such a monitor, because it has Thunderbolt, and I don't need more power to power this, actually, only the 90 watts. And I have all the features of the hub compatibility, as you can see here.
A few moments later.
And I will show you now here how it looks. Now, as you can see here, now the monitor is connected via Thunderbolt. And the nice thing of this monitor, as I just mentioned as well, is it's 120 Hz. This black IPS technology, its size 27 inches, and it's 1440p, which is actually perfect to drive a device like this. And I don't know if you can see here a little bit, but the color reproduction of the monitor is actually great. It looks really cool. Color accuracy is also really nice, actually. And I would like to say that actually the laptop, the XPS, which has an amazing panel, it's actually kind of the same, which is actually a pretty cool thing for a productivity monitor that is actually made for offices or for companies or big companies. If you take a look as well to the settings, if we go to advanced display settings, we already are recognized to 2560 by 1440p, the resolution, 120 Hz. Color depth is actually 8-bit, but that's a nice thing. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, you can push this monitor to 10 bits color with NVIDIA control panel. Probably as well with this one, I need to check monitor, 120 Hz, color management. We need to check if it can reproduce all the colors, but I'm not pretty sure. But that's what I'm sure is that with an NVIDIA GPU, which like for example my workstation has or my NVIDIA Studio has, is going to work as well with 10 bits of color. And all in all, it's actually great. As I just mentioned, the computer is powered up, it's charging, and everything works amazing. And of course, if you say something like, Jorge, yeah, but I have a desktop PC, like in my case, with one single button, you can just switch inputs. And if you have like a keyboard, mouse, speakers, external SSDs, or any device plugged into the monitor via the USB hub, it's going to pass through from device to device. And actually with this monitor, you can actually select what devices are going to be passed through. And for example, if you have network connected, you can decide which device remains connected with the network cable, which is actually a great thing. Maybe you have a desktop workstation that should remain always connected to the network, and that's actually a pretty cool feature. So yeah, that is the case for my XPS 9530. But I want to show you something different actually. I want to show you how it works when you plug in something like my NVIDIA, my HPC Studio, because this has an integrated GPU and it has a dedicated GPU. As you can see here, it already switched automatically to my desktop workstation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect my HPC Studio. And you will say, Jorge, but this workstation, this modern workstation requires tons more of power. And that's true. That's why I also need as well my external power supply. But in this case, I'm just going to show you what the monitor can do. And for this kind of devices, for example, you have the option of Thunderbolt, using Thunderbolt, as in this case, but my laptop has as well a USB-C DisplayPort connector, which in my case is actually more important for this case, because when you have a dedicated graphics card, like an NVIDIA graphics card, the Thunderbolt cable actually doesn't work that good, because the Thunderbolt cable sends the signal via the integrated GPU on the laptop, which actually avoids or doesn't give you or doesn't enable some features of the monitor, which the most important is G-Sync, for example. This monitor is also G-Sync compatible, full G-Sync compatible, but it requires a DisplayPort input. And Thunderbolt unfortunately doesn't pass through completely these G-Sync capabilities because, as I just mentioned, it goes through the Intel GPU and we need the dedicated GPU. So I'm going to plug this in my DisplayPort USB-C cable. It recognizes it as well, and let's switch. I will display display PC while charging. So I just switch inputs, and as you can see here, now it recognizes the monitor, 120 Hz. Everything is there actually. I'm going just to switch as well my mouse here. And if we go to the NVIDIA control panel, as I'm going to show you now, you can see here it's working as well. And if we go to the NVIDIA control panel, you can see that G-Sync is enabled, which is actually great for gaming. As I just mentioned, this monitor is also great for gaming. It offers great gaming capabilities like the color accuracy, the 120 Hz, the resolution, the 27 inches, the IPS black technology. Really amazing monitor as well for gaming. And if you go to the change resolution, you can see that the 120 Hz is activated and the native resolution is also there. And we can now use SDR 30-bit color and 10-bit panel, which is I mentioned for content creator or color reproduction is very important, and it has. And that's why I mentioned that this monitor is actually a monitor that can do tons of things, and it packs a lot of features in just one device. That's why I think this is the best monitor that you can have for something like a MacBook. This is the best monitor that you can have for your PC, for your laptop, because it just does everything really good. Of course, it's not like an OLED display with infinite contrast. It's not something like 360 Hz, 4K or something like that. But all in all, it gets a lot of good features from a lot of fields and just put them together in one device. And I think Dell made a really nice device in this regard. And one of the nice things as well from this monitor is the multitasking that it provides actually. Because of the resolution and the size, it really allows different windows just to keep them open. As you can see here, I have Word document in one side, I have PowerPoint in the other side, but you can do also something like this, like using the Windows Explorer just to give you more real estate in what you're looking for, which is great. I mean, when I'm telling you like this monitor for Photoshop, for DaVinci Resolve, which is my case, it works great, and the colors are great, and the multitasking capability is great, and because of the 120 Hz, it is everything really smooth. Just the daily driving of this monitor is going to be really smooth, and the strain for the eyes is going to be less than a normal 60 Hz monitor. So it is a pretty cool monitor, and if you want to see how it behaves in some games, let me see if I can show you here how it behaves. Let's wait just for Horizon to start and you will see for yourself. So as you can see here, I'm trying to play my way through this, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. It's actually quite hard. Where do I need to go? Oh, this is taking me somewhere else. Nice. Where is this taking me? I think now I can go to the other place. But yeah, I mean, the game looks actually amazing. The monitor offers so much features, and for being a productivity monitor, it just works incredibly good, to be honest. So now, what do I need to do now? I think I need to glide again. Yeah. So now I'm here. Now I can override this. I hope you can see it's a really nice monitor, to be honest. Approved for gaming. Definitely not made for gaming, but definitely recommended for games. I mean, incredible image quality, incredible picture, incredible colors, and the black tones, they just look amazing because of this new IPS black technology that they offer. With G-Sync, fully supported G-Sync, and I mean, this is just a great monitor. It's a monitor that tick all the boxes, to be honest, for what you would expect for a monitor. For productivity, incredible. So as you saw, this monitor is really an incredible choice for almost everyone. I got this monitor pretty cheap on eBay here in Germany. I paid only 300 euros for a new monitor, as you saw in the unboxing part. And in the Dell official website, it is around 500 euros or something like that. But as here in Germany, I found it pretty cheap. You can find it as well pretty cheap. And I can just recommend this monitor incredibly. I mean, in my job, I use it already like since 5 months ago. I used 2 of them and I'm just super happy with them. Thunderbolt connectivity is just great, works perfect for MacBooks as well. And because of the resolution that it has, you don't need to scale in a width setting your Apple operating system. Everything just works perfect as well because they use Thunderbolt since already like 7 or 8 years in their devices, and it's just great, believe me. And if you don't believe me, I can try. Guys, I just plugged in my MacBook Pro. This is a 15-inch MacBook Pro. I think it's already old, like from, I don't know, I think I have like 7 years with it. Actually, uses my girlfriend uses it. And it's an Intel MacBook, yes, but it has like always Thunderbolt ports. And I just connect this, immediately recognize everything. It recognizes the 120 Hz, the color profiles, the resolution, the native resolution of 2560 by 1440p. There is no scaling problems at all, and it just works. And I just mentioned, if you have webcams connected to the monitor, external solid state drives, USB, keyboard, mouses, everything is just going to work immediately when you change to the Thunderbolt port. And of course, because of the power delivery, this MacBook is being fully charged. I mean, it just works incredible. And all in all, it is like a 4x4 monitor. It's an all-rounder monitor. It's an all-terrain monitor. You can just plug a workstation like this with an NVIDIA graphics card via DisplayPort. You can just plug an XPS like this via Thunderbolt. Or you can have something like my HPC Book Studio. You can have something like my HPC Book Studio with an NVIDIA discrete graphics card and just fully take advantage of what everything the monitor can do. You can just play games, content creation, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, DaVinci Resolve in my case, just media consumption, because of course the black IPS, as you saw by gaming, it just worked actually great as well for watching something like Netflix, YouTube. Doesn't matter what kind of streaming service you have, it's just going to work incredible. Just to finalize this video, I really recommend the Dell UltraSharp U2724DE Thunderbolt 4 monitor. It's just an incredible piece of hardware. It's just not going to disappoint you. Totally. I think you are going to love this monitor. It is really clean, really minimalistic, and believe me, really again, with just one single cable, you can do incredible things. You can just clean up your space. If you are using wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, Bluetooth speakers, Bluetooth headphones, doesn't matter. Literally, your desk is going to be the cleanest of all. Yeah, and that's a really viable thing. So, guys, again, monitor, totally recommended. You can look for it with a reasonable price. There is no necessity to buy it officially from Dell. You can get it from like a reseller if you are, depending on the country that you are. In my case, I just bought it in eBay, as I just mentioned before, for 300 euros. And I think I will get a second one because I just love this monitor. And I really recommend you to get this monitor. If you have an Apple computer, it's literally the best monitor under 500 euros that you can get. Don't get with something OLED with DisplayPort and use a docking station, because the monitor is already the docking station. If you can save money, instead something like a KLD GTS4 Plus docking station that just by itself costs $200, $300, I mean, that's mind-blowing. Just get the monitor. It has a incredible USB-C docking station included. with tons of ports, with tons of capabilities, with 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection, with DisplayPort daisy chain, with Thunderbolt daisy chain, with USB-C upstream, HDMI. I mean, incredible monitor. Best monitor, to be honest, for any Windows device that you have there. If you are missing the resolution, if you are missing the 4K resolution or something like this, Dell has not yet coming out with something like this, but what Dell has actually is now the 34 inches version of this one and the 40 inches version of this monitor, which is incredible. Of course, we are talking for higher prices, but those offer high resolutions and incredible features as well. So guys, thank you very much for watching. As I just mentioned through the whole video, Dell Ultra Sharp 2724DE Thunderbolt monitor is really like double thumbs up because it just works great. Don't hesitate on buying if you have the chance. Thank you very much guys for watching, and see you until the next time.